Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Hello, world.
Hi, hello.
Hello,
This is,
world.
I don't know, episode number whatever of Just the Tips.
And we are Joanna Angel and Small.
I'm Small Hands.
And I'm Joanna Angel.
Yeah. You know, I always wear black on this show every single time, and I've done that strategic. I mean, most of my clothes are black anyway. But then I'm like, no one will notice if I repeat outfits.
Are you wearing red because
I'm wearing red because it's Valentine's Day. I mean, I'm actually going to a Valentine's Day party after this, so there was a reason for that. But now it's like I'm festive.
I also usually wear t-shirts, and I'm kind of,
Oh yeah, you're dressed
I'm
up
kind of
because
dressed
you're
up
going out
because I'm
too.
also going to a party later tonight.
Yeah. Anyway.
But before we get to the party,
Yeah, we have a special guest
have
today.
a very special guest.
Yeah.
Another Brooklyn
Yes.
icon, if you
I met
will.
him like yesterday. And I was like, come on my podcast.
We were walking down Bushwick Ave.
He lives right behind us, and we never knew each other, and we're moving in 2 weeks, but we're only moving around the corner. But still, he lives right behind us, or he did live right behind us for quite some time. Mm-hmm. He said that he sometimes saw us drinking coffee on our rooftop. But he does a lot more than just that. Anyway, this is Kenneth Play. Is that's like the name you go by?
Yes.
Kenneth Play. Because
I like that. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's flirtatious, but it also has a tone of professionalism to it. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's not Kenny Play. It's Kenneth.
Oh, it's Kenneth. It's very official.
The domain was available, so.
Wait.
So to sum it up,
how did you guys?
okay,
meet?
so we met because he had a common friend that we have, Steve Prue. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Anyway, he was like, oh, there's this guy named Kenneth. He shoots these educational sex education videos. And he wants to shoot a education sex squirting video with the Apple Vision Pro. Which when Steve,
what is the Apple Vision
when
Pro?
Steve sent me the message, the Apple Vision Pro was not even out yet. It was coming out like the following week or something, and I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. Let me just take a look at his Instagram, and I just. I have to be honest. I just looked at a picture and I was like, "Well, he's hot." So I didn't really think about anything else after that. Ladies, like, don't do that. Like, that's not really the best way to judge someone. I didn't look at anything else, nor did I. Yeah, I didn't really look at anything else or what his credentials were.
It's really good to know.
It could have been a fake photo.
How easy it is
I saw
to access you.
an 8-pack and all these like things about female pleasure, and I was like, well, I don't know what we're doing, but I'm in, and
Nice.
and he lived around the corner. All those three things combined. I was like, so all I have to do is walk around the corner, have a bunch of orgasms.
Well, hold on.
With this dude.
Anyway, back up a little.
That's what we met. So he shot Kenneth makes. Len, why don't you talk about yourself instead of me summing up really badly, because I actually don't know very much.
Give
about
us a little
you.
background. On you.
Yeah, so, first of all, I'm probably the world's most unlikely sex educator that have content on Pornhub. So, I'm with legends in this room. That's really amazing. And I was a really insecure kid. But to overcome my own sexual insecurity, I just became a super nerd about it. And then
But define a sexual super nerd. What do you mean?
So I was obsessive about collecting the best sex techniques from around the world, from science to tantra to kink to anything that I could get my hands on.
Without really getting laid very much.
That's when I start to get laid. That was
okay.
Really, so
you're like, I want to be good at this.
Yeah, at 29, I was not getting laid at all. Then
at 29?
I turned 30, and then I found the sex positive community that you came to, the space where we shot Hacienda, and it changed my life. And then
so you went there as
just someone who's looking to explore my sexuality. So when I was in my 20s, I was really, really shy and really, really awkward.
In your 20s, how many sexual partners had you had at that point?
3 up into that.
Oh, you sound like me.
Yeah. And
it's very similar to me.
That actually is somewhat similar to me.
Yeah.
also.
And then I found this community, then I just was a late bloomer, and then I learned such a different perspective about sex. And I came from the fitness industry. So I was like, maybe I could use what I learned in the fitness industry and apply it to sex. Because it was not really good education for a really long time. It's better now. There's more stuff out there. But I wanted to learn, I don't want to be better informed in sex. I want to be able to transform myself. And in fitness is about transformation, right? Like you could tell people about
good point.
Protein and bench press is meaningless to them if they know that knowledge in their brain. So how do I become really good at acquiring the skills myself and able to help other people acquire the skill to better satisfy their partner or to experience better sex? So I came from Hong Kong, so there's a unique perspective about the mix between the East and the West. So the West is really good at explaining the world through science, how everything works. And the East is really good at experiencing the world. So kind of mixing those two philosophy with my fitness background gave me a unique perspective on not only like, so when people do like breath exercise or eye gazing or tantra stuff or spanking or being suspended, why does it work? But you also need to know how to, experience
how to execute it.
And how to experience it. So, and during COVID, I was able to write my book, and because everybody's home, so I was able to interview the best neuroscience researcher about sex. So kind of deconstructing the whole thing, but make it bite-sized in just the right amount of information for people to watch, like less than a 10-minute video. We're able to execute a new sex technique.
When you said it, the best neuroscience doctor.
The
did
researcher.
You say researcher about sex? What exactly does that mean?
So Dr. James Faust is legendary when it comes to researching sex. So one of the best sex book out in the market, Come As You Are, talks about like the dual system. Like you have a brake and an accelerator system in your sexuality. So it's sometimes when you don't feel sexually appropriate or this is bad, so you shut it down, you disassociate from your experience. The other one is you let go and you experience, and you could allow yourself to be excited, right? And then there is Dr. Berry, who wrote The Science of Orgasm, that talks about why some people feel like a full body orgasm and how does the vagus nerve play into that. And to like literally, I discovered why everybody is slightly different with their sexual preferences. Why somebody like their clit touched directly on the clit, and some people like it like 2 centimeters away from here. But that 2 centimeters means the world, right?
Yeah.
I
mean, you're either hitting it right or you're not.
That's the spot. But why that's the spot that's different for every human. And it turns out that their neural layout, literally where the nerves lay on each individual genital, is slightly vary. And then there's
it's like a fingerprint.
Yeah.
Like no to or, okay.
So somebody is over there. So you can never use your ex-girlfriend map to navigate your new girlfriend's neighborhood for the same reason.
I love that quote.
That is,
the best
wow,
quote,
well said.
right?
Well said.
I know.
So hold on. Take me back to the earlier time when, let's say, you weren't the stud you are now. A little awkward, but we're learning. When did it start to, like, was there a magic moment? Was there like a discovery?
There's more. It's so funny sitting here with you guys. I always talk about this. When I came to the U.S. from Hong Kong around 11, the first porn I consume is hardcore American porn. So all I seen is like monster porn cock, right?
Right.
So I'm looking at my average size cock and never feel like, I'm never going to be enough, right?
I mean, look, the funny thing is, like, I did not see your dick, which is really crazy. But like I kind of like put my hand on it over your underwear. I mean,
you got a vibe.
It felt like a good size.
Yeah.
But you're right. If your first introduction, especially when you're not personally very experienced, is just 16-inch dicks fucking swinging and slapping you across the face.
I'm 5'9", and it's like watching the whole world as only NBA player, right?
Yeah,
then you're like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of that I have felt similar. I mean, I've got a decent sized dick, but I'm not a big guy. I'm not like a big buff dude. I'm not a traditional like alpha male in most traditional definitions. And so when I was first starting out, I was like, I don't think I'm this guy. Like, I don't think I could be in this place. I never envisioned myself with it. And even when I first started doing porn, I still thought, like, when is everyone going to realize that this is like the joke is up? And it was actually only when I started to become a student of sex and really start to dig into, you can have value in many different ways, and your dick size is one, but that's just one of like a myriad of ways. So I can relate to that whole. I know where I could be and I want to learn and I know the answers are out there. But I think, especially most like cis straight men, that's a humbling thing to say, I don't know, but I want to be better and I'm willing to put in the work to learn. So the fact that you were conscious of that and aware of that is probably a big reason why you're sitting here today.
Yeah, and I love, what I learned is really about pleasure is more about genital fit, right? So, it's like just like a bell curve distribution. There's some people that really like monster, really big cock, and most people fit in their average range. But more than anything is about skills present and how much you care about your partner experiencing pleasure. And if your only tool in your toolbox is a giant cock, then sometimes it's not what everyone is looking for, right?
Right.
So,
if anything, Joanna, maybe you can chime in. If you have a huge cock and you don't know how to use it, that's worse, right? I mean, it's more dangerous for many.
Honestly, it's like
or is it just a disappointment?
I realize sometimes I wonder if like maybe in, I don't know, 10 years, 20 years, like if like a giant dick in porn like won't really matter anymore. Almost like there was an old school, and granted, most supermodels are tall, but now the modeling industry, there's a lot of different shapes and sizes and heights of models, and it's still the most typical model is the tall, skinny model, but now there's so many different kinds. And I think that, I don't know that much about fashion, but I think that started because it was almost like this is the type of girl where like you could just put clothing on and it'll fit a certain way and it'll look good. But like over time, it's like, no, well, that's not the most important thing anymore. We don't need a clothing hanger. We need like a personality.
yeah.
So as a woman, when you're having sex, if you had to choose.
I'm sorry, let me just finish. I had a point somewhere. Like as a, person who directed for a long time, and I've also was a director over the course of many different cameras, for that matter. Anyway, I was around like before HD and 4K and whatever. Anyway, I will say that as a director, directing porn when the penis is huge was always just easier. Like the guy didn't have to like porn is just sort of based on this concept that you need to see everything. You have to see the dick. And like if the dick is big, it's just easier to see everything. You don't have to it just makes the positions easier. It makes it so like if you're a little closed up and you're having slightly more like intimate sex, like you could still see the dick because it's big enough. You know what I mean? But I don't think that really matters. I think now with OnlyFans and amateur porn and everything sort of taking over, this like traditional like porn needs to be X, Y, and Z, and like these are the only positions that are acceptable, and this is what porn is. Like I think that's redefined so much in the last few years. I feel like in the next 10 years or something, like you won't need like a huge dick to get into porn, because really the size of the dick, it's almost like that was just important to make this certain kind of porn. And I don't know if that porn is going to be what is needed. So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think the stereotypical or like,
look, I think there's always going to be a need for a big old dick.
I'm just saying, look, if you have a huge dick, of course, I'm just saying like that. I don't think
there used to be one way.
Yeah.
And now there's
the
many.
point is, hearing that from another person's point of view, I don't think it was ever meant to be like, you need a dick this big to please a woman. It was more like, you need a dick this big to fuck on camera
but if
and
that's
see
all you're
everything.
seeing,
And I think that it wasn't the intention of the big dick in porn was like just to see it from all angles, but then it became like a thing that made other people insecure.
There's a very
That's what I meant.
interesting phenomenon. So when I was interviewing the researcher, one of an important discovery is that, when you look at a Burger King commercial, it still looks good. It completely tastes like garbage, but it still makes you visually attracted to it. So there's some neuroscience when it comes to our eyes, seeing an object represented in a larger format make us more easily arouses us. So there is do a camera lens. It is very important to have a giant dick because it works for our visual system, for our arousal system, but not necessary for the pleasure or the individual.
Yes.
That they would prefer that.
Right.
And people might have different preferences. So some people might like it as big as they could get, and then some people like an average or smaller penis, depending on their genital fit. But unfortunately, and if you're working with a camera, it does work better. Like
Yeah.
if you're doing reverse cowgirl, you have more travel to work with.
Right.
So
and
it
reverse
doesn't slip
cowgirl
out,
is the
right?
position where it's like you can see everything. You
Yeah.
can see everything. It's not a pleasurable.
And if you're in
like,
reverse cowgirl and you have like a 3-inch dick, there's
Yeah,
only
there's not gonna be able to-
there's only
Yeah.
3 inches
Right.
to move. But if
But-
you have a 10-inch dick, you can
Yeah.
move.
But I think that's changing. You know, like I don't think you need reverse cowgirl to have a good porn. Or we're also coming from the age like I experienced the last handful of years of like the DVD era where like porn had to be like 30 minutes. And not because anybody was watching the full 30 minutes, but because you wanted enough for anyone who's fast forwarding to you know what I mean? The 30 you kind of know everybody's just going to watch it for like 5 minutes, but like the 30 minutes is there so it could match
I think
anyone's
wasn't that
5
also
minutes, yeah.
wasn't that also kind of a rule that was created by marketing DVDs so it could say over 3
Right,
hours,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
this porn is like 4 hours of fucking, and so
Right.
obviously the scenes have to be a certain length of
Yeah.
time.
Also, porn was being shot on these particular cameras. I don't know. Anyway, so maybe in the next 10 years or so, and also when we know there's a lot of guys in porn and they're not huge, but then it's almost like they have to perform a little bit differently.
But there's a visual,
whatever.
It changes sexual culture because they did another study where I find it fascinating. They go like, can we make a fetish? Like people get aroused by it. So the scientists just basically have the same setup. So they have a bunch of girl wearing like lingerie, but the scene is just him painting their legs yellow.
What?
Right, but they make sound when they do it and see if arousal will happen if you continue to expose people to the same video. It turns out that people could be conditioned their arousal. They just have to be wired together. So 2 events could happen together. So when you start seeing big dick and you're aroused, then it triggers
You're
the
like,
linking.
oh, I want a big dick.
Yeah. So then it becomes a cultural phenomenon people talk about. But throughout human history, it has different preferences. But also, I think my message is about fit. So a lot of people always argue like it's not about the size. It is about the size, but it has to be the right fit, just like your shoe, right?
Yeah,
So
you're right.
it depends on the
And when
person.
you say fit, because that's another interesting thing is, you know, you come from a background of personal training
Yeah.
and literal physical fitness. How do the two intersect?
It really depends. So if you think about, so vagina vary in sizes too. So in my book, I really cover the ranges of like
What's the
human
name of your book,
sizes.
by the way?
Beyond Satisfy.
Okay,
Yeah,
we
Beyond
have a
Satisfy,
copy of
yeah.
it. Yeah.
So in Beyond Satisfy, I cover genital fit and so there's different vaginal sizes. They're how much stretch, and you know when you're aroused, you have more stretch. It also depends if they like their cervix being hit, right? So some people is extremely pleasurable that could lead to orgasm. Some people is painful. So if you're born with a shorter tunnel and you don't like
more shallow,
shallow, so then it doesn't feel as good.
Yeah, I mean-
and it depends on all the individual, and also it's pressure based, right? So what I talk about the individual nerve layout. So that's it answered the question why some gay guys really love giant cock, because where those hypogastric nerve is lay on the cervix. So in order for guys
You
to
gotta
feel
get all the way
to
up there.
feel for a guy to feel that
okay.
feeling is all
has
the way
to
up
go
there
all the way
past
up.
the S
Okay.
curve, and it's a pressure-based nerve. So that's why they need girth and pressure in order. That's why fisting works a lot better for those nerves. So it really depends on the individual layout and how much pressure they require to feel. For some people, it's just a tickle, and for some people, it's like you jackhammering.
pound.
So it depends. Yeah.
Do you, in your training, ever involve like diet and how it affects things? Because, personal training, fitness, like how important is like what you put into your body for that?
Well, I think physical health is always erotic wealth, right? So being just more like able to if you're running out of breath when you're fucking, it's like I'm almost there and you die, you're gassed out not because of your cock, but, and right, being on set is like performance, like a world-class athlete over there.
I mean, well, that's most of my workouts are almost all cardio. I'm not a big dude, but to fuck, you don't need to be big. You need to have stamina.
Yeah.
You need to have heart rate.
You need to have a VO2 max
to go the
yeah.
distance. And
Yeah.
so it's just funny you say that, because one of the biggest questions I get asked by other men is what, like, give me some secrets, give me some tips. And I always say, stop bench pressing, stop doing all this big beefy dude shit and get on the Stairmaster and run for like an hour. Because if you can run uphill for an hour, you can fuck like a god for 20, 30 minutes.
Also, mind you, I always remember there were a few times where you were like, oh, my call time's later in the day. I'm going to go to the gym in the morning. And those were the days where you came home and you were like, I don't feel great about the scene today. And then over time,
because I had already exerted, you have a gas tank of energy, and whether that's sexual, physical, but it's all kind of running from the same tank. And what I also realized was to perform on another level sexually, I needed to have a full tank. And so usually on days where I'm filming like a big movie, especially if it's something really physically intensive, I am really mellow the whole day until it's, because that is when all my energy should be released. That is where all my focus should be released. And so everyone is different though. I know male performers who actually like going to the gym first because it wakes them up, it gets them pumped. I'm the opposite. I like to go after I film because then I'm high on the endorphins still. I've got adrenaline, but everybody's a little different. But either way, the point is your physical fitness and general like health well-being definitely 100% affects your performance.
And also like, when people are watching a porn and they're like, oh, why can't I do that? It's like, keep in mind, most is shot like in the morning or the afternoon.
Not at 3 a.m. after the club.
And that is what you're thinking about all day. That is like your goal for the day is to do this. That's what everything's set up for. You are shooting on furniture that's meant for porn. You've got two people that are there for that reason. So like chances are, unless it's, you're, I don't know, younger or just the planets align or whatever it is, chances are that the sex you have, most people are having sex at night, after dinner when they're tired, or at 2 a.m, you're going home with someone. Like, you're not going to be able to get, for the most part, obviously there's exceptions. You're not going to be able to get that same energy that you get with two people who are professionals in a very well lit room.
But there are still things you can do to set yourself up for success.
Absolutely.
Completely. But I'm just saying is like what you see, like if you can't mimic it, don't be like,
How did you, Kenneth, transition from being personal trainer in a non-sexual way into incorporating it? Like, was there
I was still in the fitness industry, and I had a startup at that time, and that was my late 20, turning 30. And then that project failed, and I feel like shit losing my investors' money and down on my shit. At that time, my partner, the girlfriend I was dating at that time is my current, they're both my business partner at Hacienda. They go like, why don't you just take a break? And then, and I basically he was the one who helped me with some money not to get evicted during the startup time. So I feel really bad. And when I sunset that project, he go like, let me help you with something because I still feel like I could something contribute. So I started helping him build the house that you shot in. And then just kind of get my
is a members only sex club. That's in
Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn, and it's around the corner from us, and we never even knew it existed.
Yeah, wearehacienda.com.
What is it?
Wearehacienda.com. Okay. And so when I was helping him with that project, it just kind of like gave.
I didn't realize you weren't in from the ground up.
No,
you were helping a friend.
I was helping a friend
because you were down and out.
But I was really into the sex party scene at that time. And then there's a camp called Sex Geek Summer Camp, Reed Mahalko.
Sex Geek
Summer Camp. It was Reed Mahalko first Sex Geek Summer Camp for sex ed professional who wants to learn how to turn this into a business. And then that time was like running this intentional community, trying to throw sex party, education events, science events. So I was really involved. Then the entrepreneurial spirit's still in me, but I haven't have another outlet. So I go like, why don't I go? But as you know, in porn, you can't just do porn for a day and then decide to stop. Right? It is a commitment.
Yeah.
So when I decided to, after camp, I go like, I should really do this because I love what the fitness industry taught us on how to educate people and how to transform them. Can I use the same method to transform sex lives? So cool. I didn't know that our mutual friend Grant Sutter, and long story, but he was the one who said, why don't you just put your content on Pornhub and see what happened? Because I taught people start asking me at sex party.
So you taught, okay, so you were at sex parties and you were just kind of like you were teaching people how to have sex?
No.
Like, how did this happen?
So
Yeah.
I went from a super insecure nerd who ran around parties and asked people, like, how did you just do that? Like, I was just fucking collecting
Tapping
shit.
people on the
Yeah,
shoulder.
really, really
afterward.
sweet.
And then go,
You're
and
like, how did you
and
do
I
that?
interview them, like, how did you do that? And what did you do? And why does work? And everybody have their insights, right? And then I start collecting, like, and then at that
Were you
time,
having sex with anyone at the parties?
Yeah,
or you were
yeah,
mostly
a
just
little
there
bit.
collecting information?
both. But then I remember there was this one guy that just really good at making everybody squirt, right? It's like the guy at the party.
He was the
is
guy, yeah.
And I was like, how did you do it? And then I met that guy, and I met two other guy like that at different parties. And
The squirting guy.
Yeah. Then I
Okay.
thread the thing together and go like, oh, this is what makes it work. Then I became that guy. And then people start asking me and then go like, but I was a better,
Were you going to these sex parties with a partner, or were you just?
I actually really enjoy going solo, but I go
Right.
with partner at time. But then I start really learning like how to. So the first was like you learning a technique. The other thing is like how do you coach your partner, and then I geek out on the science. Then I became so good at it that people start asking me how I do it. And then another sex party producer asked me, why don't you teach a class? I'm like starting this community thing. So out of nowhere, I went to a beautiful New York City penthouse hotel thing. It was like a beautiful party, and there was like 17 couples just showed up, and I was nervous as hell because I was like really shy. So I was like, I'm not really a sex ed teacher, but like I'm happy to skill share. So I did like a TED Talk like lecture with slides. They were like, what the fuck?
No.
Yeah.
Wait, but did you have like a person to demonstrate
And then I did demos.
on people's partners, or
No,
like on
a demo that I brought.
Okay,
Yeah, a
so
partner,
you brought somebody with you.
with me.
And there were couples there.
And there was couples
And you were
there.
finger banging a girl in front of the class.
Yeah, and teach
with
it
a
like,
slide.
With
And
slide
everybody-
first, and then teach it.
Yeah,
like,
he can't pull his
show
fingers
and
out all
tell.
gooey and then like click
like
the slides.
freaking Gordon Ramsay smacking the chicken breast and go like.
But all these couples were trying it as you tried it?
No. So I demo first, so they get to see, and then I
Okay.
coach it like a Peloton
This
class.
is amazing.
Right? Like
This
drill,
is-
move
is
by move.
crazy.
And then I tell everybody, you don't have to like everything. It's like a trial and error process because it's really about calibrating. Like everybody likes it slightly different.
Calibrating, that's a good word.
He
like
kept
just
using
getting,
that.
yeah, dialing in just because, it's like the amount of salt you want on your food, right? Like there is a sweet spot.
It's true.
And everybody is a little
True.
different.
It's true.
amazing.
No, you're saying.
How do
it
you like
so
your
well.
coffee kind of thing?
You're saying you're explaining a lot of things that I have thought, but I didn't know how to word them
Yeah.
very well.
You have such a fascinating story.
Thank
It's
you.
and like I know we've only heard like 1% of it. But let's
There's another element to this.
We should totally have a part 2. But yes, let's skip to
Because you're also a tech guy.
yeah, you're also a tech guy, and I want Aaron to see
Yeah.
how you made me squirt.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's fast forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the experience we had,
Well,
and I still don't even really understand what we did.
I
Anyway, but
want
you
to
go back.
tee it up a little bit. So
Yeah, sorry.
Apple Vision Pro just came out, right? So it's
Right.
a brand new technology. And 4 or 5 years ago, and you guys been shooting VR porn for a really long time, the technology wasn't quite there. So I was like thinking VR is the best sex education tool that I could use. But I shot it in those, multiple GoPro to the.
Oh, so you have
GoPro.
shot VR
I shot,
porn.
and it wasn't great. So I was like, it's not ready for prime time. So I've been waiting for this bad boy to come out. And when Apple announced they're going to do it, so like I pre-order, I talk to everybody I can, and I was like, I have to get it in my hand because it's so secretive. I don't know how to do some of the stuff, right? So I got it on Friday, talked to Steve, connected with you, shot on Wednesday. So we are literally the first on the planet to produce and distribute adult content with this technology. And I really think
And it's
the best-
educational.
Yeah, and it's educational. And also talked to a AI sex toy company in Lioness that could live record your vaginal contraction when you masturbate
Yeah, that was
to your
really
own
crazy.
porn.
So he asked me like, oh, can you show like your favorite porn of yours, which of course was a gangbang. And
Of course.
so he queued up one of my pornos.
Yeah.
And then I put the goggles on and I masturbated with a toy,
watching yourself.
watching myself in the so I was
watching
like,
the porn and
watching
her
the
contraction.
porn. Yeah, and also, so there were 2 screens up. One was the toy was connected to.
So it
was showing my vaginal contractions, like, and then when I was having an orgasm, it's like, I'm like. I don't know how to explain it.
It's like an ultrasound for when you're pregnant.
Yeah. But for vaginal contraction.
It's an ultrasound for your pussy.
Yeah. And, we were only going to do this for like whatever, 5 to 10 minutes. So he's like, oh, what part of the porn do you want to watch? I was like, I want you to pick your favorite part. So
That's very,
yeah. So I was like watching this. I can't even explain it in what do you call it?
Spatial. In AR space.
In AR space, I was watching myself get gangbanged and then masturbating.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I have to admit, I was like, it was pretty cool to see me get gangbanged like that, like very surreal. But I was mostly looking at my vaginal contractions. That was like very exciting. I was like, ooh.
One for the data nerd.
But everybody else should watch the gangbang.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So I'm clear.
I'm still not really sure. So we shot it. Yeah, I'm not even totally clear what we did. I was coming, so I don't even know what happened.
Just so I'm really clear, this is, to our knowledge, the first
and only
adult content on the planet produced for this. What's the headset called again?
Apple Vision Pro.
You're hearing it here first?
Yeah.
First time.
Hearing it here first.
And so it's going to come out for Valentine's Day.
So we doing all the press release stuff right now and getting press coverage. On the 13th, it's going to drop. So anyone from a burner phone to Apple Vision Pro could watch it because I've converted so it works with the Quest, it works with your phone. It does not matter what you have. But if you want the best experience.
Are you going to watch this, Brian? You seem really excited about this.
I think this is incredibly interesting.
Dude, we have so many people on. I have never seen Brian seem so interested in a guest ever. And we have had a ton of really...
Yeah, we usually just have hot chicks.
Yeah, we usually just have hot girls talking about sex. And he looks like he's on the edge of his seat. Like I've never seen him so... I myself am very fascinated in everything you're saying.
So that's 1 video out of 3.
Okay.
Actually, we did 4 video.
How do you capture it, though? I'm still not understanding
So you could capture with iPhone 15 Pro.
Really?
With this 2 lens. So, and then it shoots it in spatial. So it's like, imagine Avatar in the Way of Water, Avatar 2, but in a VR-ish space. So it's a little different, but you feel like you're in the room watching. So
and there's like depth.
Yeah, there's depth, and it's at the same level as the Avatar movie, the feeling, right? And also,
we basically made Avatar.
Yeah, we made Avatar. Yeah,
Okay.
And then you could see her squirt like flying in 3D on you, like
The Way of Water.
The Way of Water,
The
right
way-
here, water over here.
Joanna Angel, The Way of Water. The Way of Pedialyte.
Yeah.
And then we shot one with using a different toy called the Zoomio, which I do a lot of education content for them. So the idea is that
It's a great toy.
you could never really see your vulva in the POV that I look at, right? And it usually feels very goofy if I'm holding a camera doing it. So what I did is I wore the headset, which captured the video live. So I am looking at her vulva and just moving the toy, which is like a size of like my pinky. It's a really dot, but it doesn't vibrate. It spins, so it really hits your nerve. So you really know that's a spot.
Okay.
So I'm just moving that around until we found your spot. And
It's
you go
like
"That's the
when you
spot."
need when you want to hang a picture and you have a stud finder
Yeah,
and you have to
yep.
run it along the wall
Yes.
and it's like
Completely.
beep,
But her
and you're-
moaning is the beep. Yeah. But she could see where I'm looking at.
Yeah, it was
Exactly.
really crazy.
That
It was
is
like
so
very completely different than anything I've ever done.
Should
and really
every time I go to
beautiful.
set now, should I just wave it
Yeah.
across the oh, there you are.
I mean, and I will say, like, we did our thing. I had a really good time, and then I came home, and we had sex right because I was like so horny when I got home.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, you came home and like, put it
because I
in me,
was-
put it in me. I'm like,
She was horny for text. So
yeah, I was like, damn, okay. Let's go.
And we've been married a long time, even with our we don't always have sex in the middle of the day.
Yeah, we had
Especially
that.
not
that
on
was-
camera.
Yeah, that was that afternoon delight.
Yeah, it was like
been a
it was like we first started dating. So maybe that should be your job. You just like warm women up, so like they come home and they're like.
I think new experiences is arousing. Like
It
you just
is.
don't know.
No,
You've
you're
been on
right.
so many
You're right.
porn set, right?
And-
So this was a little. Well, how was it for you? I'm so curious.
It was first of all, it was awesome. I mean, first of all, I will admit I know you had a lot to do with just the design of the space because you had told me
Yeah.
the setting, like as soon as I walked in, like there was definitely like horny feng shui in the room. Like it was so beautiful in there and beautiful lighting, but like unlike anything I'd ever seen, you know, and it's very hard to make a Bushwick loft feel horny. And he did a very, like everything was just smelled good. Everything was clean. Everything was comfortable. Everything was colorful and just, I don't really know how to explain it. So like, I think from the moment that I walked in, like I felt very like calm. There was like a very horny energy in there.
That's actually a really good...
I could feel it. Yeah. And you would think walking into a sex club, it would be like gross.
I mean, that's a really good point.
No offense.
Because I think...
I don't know who I'd be offending, but...
That's something that you can take that little nugget of knowledge. Yeah. Well, meaning horniness and arousal starts earlier
mood setting
than when your clothes are off. It starts before someone touches you. It's energy and it's space and it's all those things, if you're really in tune with them, can cultivate an environment where someone's ready to go before you even touch them. You know?
And we know from...
I mean, Joanna's horny all the time,
I'm horny,
in every space.
But most of the porno shooting locations, which I believe we've talked about in other episodes, like don't really make you horny. You walk in and you're like the opposite of horny. You're actually like scared. You're going to get ringworm.
Oh
Something
boy, that
my butthole.
Well, and you know, it's hard to keep a location clean when you're shooting porn in it every single day. And people do try. They do try.
But hold on. So
anyway.
Your experience.
So my experience, it was like beautiful in there. He was wearing a suit, you know, a very nice suit. Everybody was just really nice and everybody was excited. And yeah, just your entire approach to it was just like, you were like a vagina scientist. Like, I'm not used to the day just being about me coming, like being a female who's like shot porn. I'm like, I remember, I think at some point I'm like, I'm not used to this. I'm used to getting fucked really hard. Not that I have a problem with that, but everything was just about like, you, like me and my vagina and it feeling good. And like that, I feel like usually the day revolves around and I'm not saying I don't feel good during a porn, but it's a different kind of feel good. It's more of like a connection with another penis and how to like make my penis, my vagina and that penis like work well together, or even sometimes when it's a really big penis, like figuring out how my vagina can like handle that big penis. And like, you know, when you figure out how to handle it, it's amazing. And you feel like you're like, yes, I got this, I can do this. And this is good feeling. But this was just literally all about, it was almost like I had somebody helping me masturbate. Like it felt very like, it just felt like very all about me.
So what I'm,
if that makes
so
sense.
What's on here is this.
I think
this
so.
This is what we shot yesterday,
okay.
And I have my team figure out how to edit it because there's a lot of blog posts saying that people cannot really use this watch porn the way they think they could because of some tech limitations. So we figure out how to create spatial video and then also able to edit it for the Quest. So you could see, and I edited like before I got here. So I want to show you the first footage.
Can I see it?
You can see the footage.
Also, some of you showed me some of your educational videos when I was there, and they're really good. They're also funny to watch too. I would love to pull some up on the screen. I don't know, maybe while he's watching it,
you could send him post.
Send him the link. No, but even if you could do it here, you could pull it up. But I want to do this first. But it was really funny.
So should we?
Let's check this out.
I've never.
I've
never experienced this.
I mean, not many people have. It's like a week old, so I want you to see this.
Let me get this set up first really quick.
Okay. Yeah, your eyes have to calibrate. It's the whole thing.
So let me do some prep. So your eyeball becomes the mouse. So whatever you look at is like the mouse cursor is looking where. Right. And then when you click your finger like this, so you don't have to go touch anything. You just click. This is the mouse click. So you just click your finger together like this. The camera on the goggle sees your fingers.
So the finger doesn't even have to be.
No, it doesn't have to be.
You don't have to point.
You just look and
you
click.
Look at it, which I had a hard time getting used to.
So you look and click, and then once I put you on, you will see the world just like I'm looking at it right now. Just a little bit downgraded to more video format, but the content you see is in 4K level clarity, so you will see it different. So it might be. Is calibrated to my eyes now, so instead of recalibrating, it might be just a little off.
Okay.
But let's
try it.
give you a try. I'm gonna. I'm gonna set it up first so the video is already there and I can see what you're doing to help you navigate. Okay, so let me hold on.
I
one
love this.
second.
Look at this tech demonstrations. Have you used
First
one yet,
time
Brian?
ever.
You-
So
No,
right
it just
now,
came out.
my
Yeah.
MacBook is looking at what I'm looking at right now, right? So you could.
Aaron, that mic's
yeah,
on
so
in front of
could
you if you
turn.
want to use it.
So
Okay.
I'm looking at Joanna and I am staring at.
At my titties? Oh wait, what do my boobs look like in AR or whatever you
So
call it?
you can see exactly what I'm seeing, right? So I'm gonna pull up the video and then I'm
Okay.
gonna set it so you can turn that back.
Okay, and
and
you can have like
then-
multiple screens going on at the same time.
Yeah, so you see this is the video, right? So you just have to look at the play sign. You see how it highlights it when I look at it and then click your finger and it will play.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. So I'm gonna put this
Wait,
right
is it?
here and I'm gonna swap it to you.
This one works. Okay.
Okay. So
All right. Let's.
Let's try.
me-
Okay.
So, and then it will ask you to press that button right here. You press it down until it,
Ooh.
and then now you're in the world like this, right?
What? The
And then
flying
you can walk
fuck?
around too, like, and you can sit on my seat actually better, so it's already like. Yep.
This is.
This is
I'm in the future.
So now you're looking at her phone, right?
Whoa.
And then just look at the play sign. And then just click your finger together.
Like-
Yep.
Oh, I
Like,
see
click
it.
your finger together. Yeah. Then now you
Okay,
see.
so now
And then you see this immersive thing in the top corner.
I do.
Just click it again. So look at it and click it. Yep. And then view.
this video has excess motion and could cause discomfort if expanded.
is that what
And then look at view. So look at view immersive and then click again. Right. Yep. Yeah. Now.
Oh, whoa. You know what? This quality is fucking great.
Yeah. And then.
Wow, you're in great shape.
he is in great shape.
And then if you could also fast forward. So if you click it, like look at the middle and click your finger again, you will see the control bar of the video, and then just click your finger. And then you could X out of that. Just look at that X. Forgot that was open. Yeah. So now you see the more
Okay.
close up. You see how 3D it is.
Yeah, wow, that's
And
That's
then-
crazy, right?
wow. I'm like looking at Joanna's pussy hairs in like
Right, like-
8K.
Do you want to see it, Brian?
Brian, you might have to
Yeah,
come
you
check
can
this
come
shit
check it
out.
out,
It's
yeah.
pretty
Come
awesome.
check it out.
You're gonna show me
Okay,
the footage
I get
for
it.
a post, right?
This is
What?
You're gonna
Yeah,
show
but
me
you
the
won't be able to see it with the headset on.
That's fair.
Yeah.
it really is like
We need your
like
reaction.
years beyond the
Yeah, it's
old
crazy.
VR
Now,
headsets.
This close up, you see, like you can see her.
Oh yeah, I can see the fucking
Everything.
the freckle on your ass. All right, yeah, this would be cool to jacket to, for sure. You look like you're soldering her pussy with like a soldering gun.
like the Sonic 2 drug
Right.
effects, yeah.
Okay. And so this, yeah, wow, this is wild.
And you could walk around, so you could get your face closer to the video. Like you see how it does it.
Oh my God.
You're right.
It's not like and you can move that screen closer to you. So there's so many things that you could do.
I could just keep walking
You could
forward
walking
until
around.
I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah. And then
right?
it remembers it was there, so you could go pee, and then your video will still be in. That's
Oh.
why spatial computing. You could put your text message here. You could put like your photos there.
there's a lot going on in this. Wow. Okay, so audio, how does that work with this?
I don't think
move back up two
the
clicks. It says
audio
I'm too
is
close.
there. Let me just turn this. Look at their what is that? Their speaker icon, and then turn that dial. So put your hand on that dial right here. It's a dial. So so this is to take away the environment. So try that. See how it takes away the environment. So you can't see the world anymore. And then
Oh, I didn't even know.
There's
Yeah.
that's all
all
the
right.
Apple stuff.
So this is like options you can scroll
Yeah, so you
through.
could not see the world. You could be in your own private space. If you look at their speaker icon, then you could turn up the volume.
Where's the speaker?
So if you turn
you have
this
to
crown,
turn it.
yeah, and then look to your right. So then and look to your right.
I am. It's
It's just a little bit off.
yeah. It's a
than
little.
yours.
It's a little off calibrated, but I get what you're
Yeah,
doing.
but you have to calibrate to
Okay.
your eyes.
Okay.
But spatial audio, so you hear it in 3D sound.
So if
too.
I move forward, the audio
yeah, it would
gets
be closer to you.
What?
Yeah.
This is wild. I feel like
This is the future.
I feel like I just landed on the moon and I'm the first one.
Yeah.
And guess what's on the moon? You two.
Me.
You two.
Yeah. Yeah, we're on the moon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sold. This is.
This is your first time ever. You haven't
Here,
seen
Brian,
this,
you want
right?
to try it? Yeah, try it.
Yeah, come on in. Come try this shit. It's crazy.
Let me,
That is so cool.
Let me forward it to the.
This is crazy, and I think
Changing
it's
the game.
I think it's really amazing that the first porn-ish thing made with it is educational. It's educational. You know
3D space porn.
what? Yeah. I mean,
I'll watch your 3D
it's
space porn.
porn-ish. It's educational. It's a sex ed
Yeah, just sit here and then.
lesson.
So let me open it up a little bit. Yep.
It's actually
pretty.
This is our producer, Brian. Nobody ever really sees him.
Hi.
Yeah, he has a face.
He has a face.
great.
And Brian is also very good at technology
I'm
things.
on another show. People see me there.
Well, they've never seen you here.
Yeah. So you just turn this dial right here. Give me a hand, and tighten it. So you turn this like a.
All right, gotcha. Okay, I am tightened up.
And then you basically just look at the play icon. and
There's
click
just
your
a
thing.
floating ass porn. Right That's pretty crazy.
And you see the world kind of almost, yeah.
This is a
And-
fucking cool toy, man.
Yeah.
Ah man.
And then you just look at the play sign, and then just click your fingers. So you look at
I
the
see ya.
yeah, and then if you look at it's not calibrate to mic. Keep looking around that play sign in this corner.
I'm pretty sure I hit it. The play sign disappeared.
Nope.
I know I had that issue.
Switch back to yep.
Bam.
Yep.
This is all. I got this.
You could also move around to
Brian's
be
gonna
closer
produce
to
the
the play
show
sign.
with
So
it,
like
so.
if you move physically, you
okay.
could just adjust your
Oh
looking.
yeah, I can like look behind the
yeah,
video.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And
I
if
know,
you
isn't
look
that
at the play
crazy?
sign, you could press click. Yep, right there.
Oh, it caught your fingers.
Click it.
There
Yeah.
you go. Oh yeah, look at that.
You see how it's like has depth to it?
Oh
Oh,
man.
you switch to the other one.
Yeah, I keep spazzing it up,
Yeah.
but that is a cool piece of toy.
Yeah.
Wow.
For sure.
So. Wow. So what's the next step?
And I'm only shot this on the iPhone. Like I'm renting better cameras now that I could show you other footage that Apple. So I'm renting new camera to. Apple had a bunch of their immersive videos, so it's even better created than the power of the iPhone. But it's amazing that the iPhone could do it, because so any content creator, right, can use it and just start creating content around it for entertainment, for education, whatever they decided to do. But it is the most like being there experience that you could have,
Right.
because traditional 180 VR just feel like you're looking around the room like weird. This is like 3D,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
in their space.
It's very
yeah.
immersive.
It is the next step because in the thing I just saw, I was like a viewer.
Yeah.
But I know you had briefly mentioned how the interactive portion can kind of expand on that.
I would imagine there's a demo from Apple where you put your finger out and the dinosaur was walking around, and you could move your finger and the butterfly would find your finger and land on it, right? So I would imagine they could create a
So you could have like your dick out,
and then
then a mouth could land on it.
yeah, exactly.
That's the next.
But a AI or a digital recreation of you doing that, so it could just do anything, but it could suck your cock exactly
To your liking.
Yeah, because it's also so it 3D scan your cock, so it knows your actual cock size. It's not a representation, like it knows like everybody's finger is different, right? So how do they know? It's a 3D scan
A
of whatever.
rendering.
Yeah.
I'm gonna live forever through this.
Right.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
this
Well,
headset.
I mean, I guess the bad side of it is
Can
people
it
could take your
can it make my
image.
cock bigger? Can I add a couple inches?
You could do anything to the
mean, you
digital
could probably do
representation.
anything, yeah.
I'm gonna give myf abs.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I'm gonna do is give myself
Yeah.
a six
I mean,
pack.
I know
No, my
there'll-
cock's fine, but I
There's
need
going to
I
be
need a six pack.
copyright issues where
Copyright, yeah.
people will, but copyright. But I think that's the next step is to get ahead of it, so we can actually like
Yeah.
have control over our AI image and be able to
Yeah, your
I don't
lightness
know.
should be controlled by the person, yeah, not just
right
being ripped off. Yeah.
right yeah.
So What's the next step for you with this technology, Kenneth?
You know, a GQ wrote an article a while back, which is they call me the world greatest sex hacker, but I really like innovating things, like creating new things. So I want to push as much I could use this technology for, and in my domain is education. So like when you watch my 2D video, I put like info diagram. In my book, I have QR code to show people exactly how I move from the outside to the inside. So I want to overlay graphic in my education content that people have X-ray vision to see what I'm doing.
If they want to go further into that.
Yeah, they want to go internally. They could see live what I'm doing and give them the right experience. And
really crazy.
Yeah, and just...
How do we get to? Oh, I
Yeah,
wish.
go ahead.
Wait, I want to show them what you showed me on set. Is it easy to get to it?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I could pull it up.
Okay, you could if you. How
If
would
you
it go?
email me the file, I can pull it up for
Okay.
you.
Oh, you gotta go.
I mean, we're going to get
Okay.
I would
Okay.
give
Okay.
it in post.
Okay, we'll
But
do
what
it in
did you
post.
see?
Anyway.
What did
We'll
you see?
sort it out.
Okay, I can explain what I saw.
Yeah, he can put
I'll
it.
overlay
Yeah, you
it
can
as
put it
you
in
talk
post.
about it.
I mean, so you were like, you were like fingering a girl,
Yeah.
and then like there was a diagram in the corner of like a tongue and what the
Oh, it was the
inside of
oral
her
sex one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that's
the
the one you were
yeah.
saying,
Okay,
yeah.
it was the oral sex one. You were going down on a girl.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were going down on a girl, and it was showing like what the inside of her vagina was like,
Yeah.
and it showed like a diagram of a tongue and like what the vagina does on the inside, and like these graphs and these charts, and I thought it was awesome. I thought it was amazing. I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah,
I learned stuff from it. I was like, oh, next time I'm like with a woman, like I'm gonna remember this stuff. Like I learned new things. And I've been with a lot of vaginas. So
It's true.
you know.
Yeah, and I'm more on the education side. Like, you know, shooting on set is like so much anxiety for me. I shot with Erica Lust too one time in London. So I'm like I don't. You guys are athletes. I'm just like such an amateur
It's a
on that
different thing,
space.
yeah.
But I really enjoy nerding out on the teaching because I want people to actually understand it so they could execute it.
Yeah.
Because it's pointless if they just like learn a thing they cannot do. So I want to give a recipe they could make at home, like Julia Child.
We're cooking. We're cooking.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sure we could talk forever. Everybody go, where can people find what we just made?
Okay, so you could go to kennethplay.com and find all my content, but we're releasing this on the 13th just in time for the Valentine's Day, so people could download what we shot for free. I'm also going to give away the other video that you just mentioned on traditional format and this beautiful romantic goddess bath thing that I do where you put rose petal and color the water and words of affirmation and this whole romantic experience that you could give your partner. So you could have the foreplay, right, and your sex, and then have the best aftercare experience that you want to do that for your partner on Valentine's Day. All for free.
The
I would
complete package.
look, I've met a lot of sex educators in my day, and a lot of them are hacks. And I will say, like if you're clueless in bed, or even if you know a lot and you want to know more, if you've been in a relationship for a really long time and you want to just re-spice up the marriage, like I'm highly recommending your course. And I only know very little about it. You really know what you're talking about, and you really know how to relate to everyone. I mean, you managed to teach me new things, and I've had a lot of sex with a lot of different people. So,
And if you're in the New York area and you're interested in more of the lifestyle stuff, you can
Great.
go to wearehacienda.com.
Yeah,
get
we're
some
gonna
more
check it
info
out.
on that. You may see me and Joanna at the club
I
sometimes.
heard they
Who
have
knows?
like a 3 a.m. orgy dinner, like a
I used to
post-orgy
cook that dinner
So
for
he
200
cooks
people.
like a gourmet meal for everybody after an orgy at 3 a.m. I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
What do you say, Brian? Come join the orgy and then let's eat some chicken
Yeah,
strips.
and you don't have to be in the orgy.
Served filet mignon last time.
Oh,
just that.
well, oh my-
with like
fuck the
actual
I
chicken
know. I'm gonna go.
I'll come for
Most
dinner.
people order
Yeah.
pizza. Like we
Brian,
really
let's
do it.
go and let's eat the 3 a.m. meal.
I'll come and eat some 3 a.m.
Yeah,
meal.
let's eat a 3 a.m. meal. At the end of every episode, we do a haiku.
It's poem time.
It's poem time.
So, for those of the listeners who don't really know what a haiku is, it's a simple poem, 3 lines,
Who
5.
doesn't know what a haiku is?
You never know. 3 lines, 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. Doesn't have to rhyme. Who wants to start it off? You want to start it, Joanna?
Yes.
Okay, and then I'll do the 7 syllable, and Kenneth, you finish up with the 5 syllable.
It's like a lot of pressure. 3D. Wait, what do you got? It's spatial?
Yeah.
It's called spatial, right?
Yeah.
It's not 3D.
It's not 3D. It's spatial. Yeah.
Okay, spatial squirting porn.
Spatial squirting
Spatial
porn.
squirting
Okay.
porn.
Vulva pulsating for me. Yeah.
Okay.
So what was your line again?
Spatial squirting porn.
Vulva pulsating for me. Kenneth.
First time Joanna Angel.
First time Joanna. Actually, just first time Joanna is
Your
fine.
first time Joanna.
Okay, yeah, 'cause it was your
Yeah,
first.
it was my first time.
Yay.
Yeah, first time Joanna.
I feel like this episode will probably need a sequel. There's a lot.
there's
a
so
lot we
much,
didn't
yeah.
get to, but for now, Kenneth, thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you. Thank
you
you.
for sharing your knowledge. Thank you for being a Brooklyn neighbor.
Yeah, we're gonna do so much together.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at @thesmallhands_. You can also hit my onlyfans.com/smallhands, Joanna.
You can find me. Follow me.
Great promo.
Just subscribe to the podcast. You know,
You can
it's really-
sign up to the podcast. You go to gasdigital.com. You use the promo code TIPS for a 7-day free trial so you can catch up on all the shows on the network.
Yeah.
So professional.
Kenneth, you said all your links. Want
So
to
you
shout
could
it
go
again?
to kennethplay.com or you could go to Instagram at Kenneth_play and you could find all my content there. And I hope you download this epic free content. So it's our gift to the world. I want Valentine's Day to be amazing for 2024 for everybody.
We love that. Be good,
Thank
everybody.
you.
We'll see you.
Happy
We'll
Valentine's
see you on
Day.
the headset.
Yeah.
We'll see you in augmented spatial reality.